Hello everyone, this is Tanya from Professor Tanya Speaks, and today is going to be a very brief video. Okay, well, hopefully. But it really should be a short video because all I'm going to do in today's video is tell you how to write an introduction. But I know sometimes I do go over a bit. But okay, I promise 5 minutes, no more. Okay, so I'm just going to tell you what to include in your introduction and quickly point you to resources that can help you to do these things. So let me first tell you that an introduction has 5 parts. And then I'm going to tell you what each part should do. So let's start. Now I'm all nervous because I'm trying to get this done in 5 minutes. Okay, let's begin. So an introduction has 5 parts. An introduction for any speech. Did I say that? Okay, let me begin again. The introduction for any speech should have 5 parts. And even though I say it has 5 parts, it's not necessarily a step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. You just have to ensure that the entire introduction has these 5 parts. However, the 5 parts are the attention grabber, the mention of the topic, your credibility, mentioning your credibility, bonding with the audience, and the announcement of the thesis. So it has these 5 parts, and the attention grabber has to be first, because that's the first thing you have to do, grab the audience's attention. And then the 5th thing, or the last thing that you must do at the end of your introduction, is announce. So I'm going to talk to you about. And you say it however you want to say it. Now the 3 other parts in between can go in any order. But the attention grabber must be first, and the thesis must be last. Everything else, you can mix it up, okay? So we know the 5 parts. Let me quickly tell you about each part. Am I near 5 minutes yet? Oh, I'm at 2 minutes. Okay, we have 3 minutes to go. So the first thing you must do is have a dynamic attention grabber. Now I did quite a few videos on attention grabbers already, so I won't mention it again. But I will say, I told you about the 3 best ones, and when I told you about story, I forgot to also mention that it doesn't have to be your story. It can be a story of it can be somebody's story, as I did in another video where I spoke about stopping my student and asking her to tell a story. So I have a video here, and that video shows me talking about her story. So it doesn't have to be your story, okay? But in general, your story tends to be the first and the best. Okay, so you have to start with an attention grabber, and you have to grab people's attention. Then you want to mention the topic without saying, this is the topic. You never say, this is what I want to talk to you about, until you get to the end of the thesis. Then you announce it, okay? So slide the topic in without saying, this is it. So for example, in this video where I spoke about sustaining friendship, if you were listening to the story, I got to a point where I said, I thought we would be friends forever. And that's a cue. I am mentioning the topic. I thought we would be friends forever. But I didn't say, I'm going to tell you about how we stopped to be. No, okay? So slide the topic in without announcing it. That's the second thing. The third thing now is you need to tell your credibility, meaning, why should we listen to you? What have you done in the field of the topic? What's your experience been? How much research have you done? You have to tell your audience. Because why would I listen to you talk about failure if you've never failed? But if you watch this video where I spoke about failure, I told you my story. That when I was 19, I had failed 3 years already in pre-med, trying to get into medicine. Me. So that's my credibility. Or let's say the other story where I spoke about why I believe stories are best, I told a story about a student who I stopped in the middle of her speech and I said to her, tell us a story. So that's my credibility. I believe in stories. I tell stories all the time. When I tell students to tell stories, they get better speeches. And I give an example of a time when I stopped a student in the middle of her speech. You did what, Tanya? Yes, I did. I stopped her and I said, hold on, give us a story. And after she, okay, she gave us a story and it was brilliant. It was an A. She was giving us a B speech. And like I said, I knew her and I knew she could tell a story. I said, stop right there, tell us a story. And when she did, woo, fire. And that, I talk about in that video. Okay, oh my God, I think I'm over 5 minutes. Okay, I'm wrapping it up now. Okay, and then the fourth thing is, you now need to bond with the audience. In other words, give them a reason to listen. Because we all know about WIIFM. What's in it for me? Unfortunately, as human beings, we are selfish. Yes, we are. And we tend to want to know that if we're going to listen to you, you have something that will benefit our lives. So that's how you bond with us, by showing us how this is relevant to our lives. And sometimes you have to talk about different things. So like in that video where I spoke about failure, I said, you may have failed in a marriage, or you may have failed at work, or you may have failed to follow a dream. So you want to make sure that you think of who your audience is, and based on who they are, whatever you're talking about, try to think of how it could be relevant to their life. So I thought about the people who could be listening to me, and I thought the average person has failed somewhere, some way. So I thought about the different things. People have failed in relationships, people have failed at work, so I mentioned as many as I could. And that's what you need to do to help the audience to realize that what you're saying is applicable to their lives. And then the fifth thing you must do at the end of your introduction is make an announcement. Because if you do not, your audience will not know what they're supposed to be listening for. They won't know what you're going to be talking about. They'll have an idea. Yeah, she said something about failure. I guess she's going to talk, I guess. But you have to be that clear with them, because one of the things about a listening audience is that you have to constantly bring them back, pull back their minds, because in the middle of them listening to you, their minds drift off. They're thinking about dinner, or they're thinking about shopping, they're thinking about picking up the kids, they're thinking about the fight that they just had with a lover. Their minds are everywhere, and you have to constantly bring them back. Your transitions will do that, your announcements will do that, and you have to constantly tell them what you are telling them. So at your end of the introduction, you say, so today I am going to talk to you about, and you give them the broad topic, and then you tell them the 3 points that you're going to mention. So like in this video, which I have annotated clearly, if you ever want to look at a video with annotations, I said, today I'm going to talk to you about the sustainability of friendship. That's my topic. And I'm going to tell you the problem, the effects, and the solution. The 3 things that I'm going to discuss in the body. So you must tell your audience the broad topic as well as the 3 points. And guys, it's 9 minutes, so I'm done. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. See you in the next video. Bye for now.